And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts. So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel. Gross. Nothing. Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test. Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested. Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake. I think we found the ghost. Jake won't let you see your mention. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off, and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the The use, you're not going to use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I would. Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's Wednesday night, time for a street fight, and we are so glad you're here. You can watch us on the stream. We're live right now on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow along. Sign up at patreon.com. You also get notified when we go live on shows. You get emails about new stuff that comes out, and we put free content on there as well sometimes, so get in the loop, get notified. Otherwise, keep listening as a podcast. That's what we started this as, and that's how most people listen to the show. But if you're listening to the show 2 times a week and you want more than what we do, head over to patreon.com, where you can get access to zines with writing and articles from Street Fight listeners and other unusual voices. New, unique points of view happen in the zine. We've got Shocktober Volume 2 is coming in October. Friday, the first episode of Shocktober comes out. You got to sign up on Patreon to get that. We've got the 100 Million Tons of Steel Heavy Metal podcast that happened in September. That is all there. We just watched The Food That Made America, the 2nd episode. You can watch along with us as we add commentary to that. So help us keep the show running. Help us pay independent creators. Please subscribe on Patreon. It really does help us spread this mess across the U.S. and allows us to pay independent creators and people that help out with the show and, take care of our people like we like to do. If this is the first time you've listened, thanks for doing that. I mean, it takes a lot sometimes to try a new podcast out. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby for Street Fight Radio. And we're here to fucking rock and roll on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I guess before we get into the show, I want to say that Shocktober this year, me and Felix could not schedule together. It just didn't work. And they do, they have election shit, like, heavier than me and Brett do, like, that's kind of their beat. So I will have Chris James co-hosting with me, who is an absolutely fucking hilarious guy. If you've watched the Go Off Kings, or if you have seen Not Even a Show, which is his show, or any of that stuff, he is great. And
March Madness?
He did March Madness too, so he was one of my co-hosts on March Madness. He also was a huge fan of a lot of this stuff, so we're not trading off experience or anything, and me and Chris have a really good time when we record together. So I think it's going to be a very good season of Shocktober. We got guests like Jesse Farrar. We got Brett Payne. We got Mike Hale. We have Drew Spears, the Man Cow expert, will be there, and also a writer for our TV show. And for those of you who have heard Ron and Fez, if you were a fan, because a lot of people bring up that we haven't covered them, on the wrap-up episode, we'll have Classic Shelby. We'll talk to him about his various moments on the show, and maybe we'll eat a Shelbo, which is a donut cut in half with ice cream in the middle.
Ooh, I want to do that one.
So, it's gonna be good. I'm very confident, and me and Felix tried all the way up until yesterday, and it just didn't happen. Didn't work. Nothing I can really do. So, that's the Shocktober news. Also, me and Brett did something that we would have never done 4 years ago. We watched the debate last night. We got together with our families. We bummed our entire families out, and we watched the debate together. And, well worth it. Just Emmy award-winning debate that was. If they're giving Emmys this year, because there's not a lot of new shit this year, I mean, this is the show, right? This is the TV show. This was the TV show of the century, I believe.
Yeah, the debate was tough to watch with the family, I have to say. They did bum me out in a way. They bummed me out because
Well, I guess I had already died on the inside, you know, and like it still takes people a long time to do that sometimes, you know. I felt bad like sitting there with Gwen and we're like hooting and hollering and just can't believe what's happening, and it was just like, you know, she's inheriting this world, you know, but also getting a much more honest.
That's how I feel.
She's getting a much more honest representation of it than us, who got out of school and bought into it and made ourselves miserable, you know?
Yeah, and I do believe that I do agree that, you know, we are kind of poisoned from being online and just, you know, kind of paying attention to this. And we know that this is what America is. But I think it's important that other people, I think everybody has to see that this is what America is.
It's just
because
like
it's what it is.
It's like the atheists on their deathbed calling out to God. There's just everybody knew things were bad, and then that happened, and you know nobody paid attention to that. You know, there's a lot of talks about it, but you know I doubt the regular person, your average person wants to sit through 90 minutes of that. But it was absolutely fucking astonishing. And I mean, just totally not unexpected. I don't know how unexpected it was.
I mean,
I'm still just reeling from it.
Never seen anything like it.
I've never seen it. Yeah, never on TV have I seen a spectacle like that before. You know, it was hard to make sense of things. I feel like I screwed myself in 2016 because I like to people read. I like to know what's going on. I like to feel around like what the motions in the air are and everything. I would say that Donald Trump seemed like a complete asshole.
He did.
But what I learned from the last one is that I think that a lot of people like that, though. That's not something that turns off most people.
This is the kind of day where getting rid of Facebook, I think, affected me in a negative way rather than because I mostly feel positive about it. It was bumming me out so much. I just couldn't handle it, you know? And, but I haven't seen what real regular people think about the debate. I've only seen Twitter, where I don't think there's anybody on Twitter that wasn't either expecting this maybe or also aren't already dug in. You know, I think that's the big thing is like that, like I took away from this is I walked away from this saying that everybody that was going to vote for Joe Biden is going to vote for Joe Biden. Everybody that was going to vote for Trump is going to vote for Trump. And that I don't know if there even are undecided voters in this election. It seems impossible, you know, especially after watching that last night. It seems if you're a Trump person, then that debate performance made you happy and turned you way on because it was Trump.
I mean, the thing came off. I said it as soon as it started, was like, wow, this is just Facebook comments. Like, this is literally just going to any Facebook page on a big post and reading through 1,000 comments and watching how dug in, like you said, people are. But, you know, Trump, like, to his people, he treated it in a way like a schoolyard fight. I mean, that was literally middle school fight right there. It was like Joe Biden says that Donald Trump isn't the king of the fucking playground. He's like, yeah. Who said that? Joe Biden said that? Wait till I see Joe Biden. That's what he came out there and never even he never once showed decorum. It was just like, fuck this guy. He's my enemy. Railroaded everything.
I think he thought he was in trouble. I really think that, like,
that's what Tom from Trillbilly said, was he thought Trump was kind of on skates, maybe. That he read it wrong and pushed too hard and was just flailing.
I think
that's his flailing.
I feel like he thought that, okay, so like in 2016, I watched the debates then too. So I did see those. And Hillary Clinton was not trying to go toe-to-toe with him. And I think he knew that Hillary Clinton would be a person who would follow the rules of decorum. Now, I think if you're watching this election, like before this, then you would know that Joe Biden, he doesn't seem like a guy who would take shit. He took a lot of shit last night, but he seems like a take no shit guy. You know, he challenges people to push up contests. He says he wants to physically fight Trump. It's just listen up, fat, corn pop, all that stuff. Like, I think Trump bought into the fact that Joe Biden's a loose cannon and that like I think Donald Trump felt like he was going to be debating Donald Trump. And Joe Biden, I think his strategy was to seem even keeled, like to seem like I'll stick up to this guy. He's a fucking bully, but I'm not gonna get crazy and I'm not gonna get mad. And I really think in the end, Trump maybe did come out looking strong at the end of that because Joe Biden didn't look like a guy. He looked like he couldn't handle Donald Trump the whole time, I felt, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, what he accomplished basically was sympathy. I mean, he was just groaning and going, He said, "Well, this guy shut up." He really does. He really establishes himself as someone that won't back down, which is fine, but he has nothing to say.
No,
it's not like I won't back down and that like I'm not going to concede. It's just that I will literally stand there and let somebody completely fucking humiliate me.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching somebody on the ground on their back with their hands over their head and somebody's slapping their fucking head and saying, "Get up, get up, get up." I mean, I don't know if I guess the bully is the winner there, but I don't think that I'm looking at the person on the ground, Joe Biden being the turtle on his back. I don't think I saw that as appealing.
A leader.
Yeah.
We're talking about this thing that, you know, me and Brett don't really, you know, buy. I mean, we're the #1 anarcho comedy show, and I don't buy into this America needs leadership shit. But I think a lot of people, I mean, you know, obviously most people believe in that. And Donald Trump came off, for better or for worse, like a leader, an evil leader, a horrible, ill-tempered, evil leader.
Yeah.
But he came off like what I see as a leader. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, when America talks about leadership and who the leader is, that is what they're talking about. That is what we think are elites. And by the way, the fact that these were our elites standing on that stage, I think that is what hit me the hardest. More than my family, who was just shocked by how Donald Trump, by how they carried themselves. I was more shocked about, like, these are the elites. This is the aristocracy of America. This is fucking Oscar Wilde or whoever. You know what I mean? That is who this is, and that is who it has always been. You know?
Yeah, and that was tough because there was just moments I made eye contact with Gwen and she just shook her head, and like when Biden was just flailing, like there was a couple times. He should never say a number ever again. He's never delivered a number correctly.
There was a bad
I don't
one.
I don't care what the situation that he can't do it, but he just shouldn't. If you know that you can't say numbers in the correct order, you shouldn't. And Katie made me feel so bad because she sat on a chair and I was like, "Come get on the couch. We got a huge couch." And she's like, "I need to be able to walk away." And she was pacing behind me, like watching through, like it was like a horror movie. She was watching between her fucking fingers. And I understand that. And I think it's because of what you said. Like this is what it's come to. This is what this is the most important thing that we can do is based on these two guys. These are two guys that everything's focused on.
Well, let me also say about Katie is she is and very, very much Brett and Brian 2012 mindset, I think. She's not voting for either one of them.
Who?
Katie.
Not going to vote for Joe Biden?
No.
What?
She can't, she says. She's in 2012 mindset. She is in Brett and Brian 2012 mindset. It's not about making a reasonable choice. it is about my morals are not going to allow me to do this.
Sure.
And I would never fucking take that away from her.
Sure.
I do talk to her about, like, you know, I don't know what this world looks like with Joe Biden as the president, but I know, like, what it looks like with Trump, and it's scary to me.
Yeah, it was
It's like, I find it scary. 4 more years of this, I'm really scared of, like, what my life is gonna look like. What even are what a person like me, who is totally insulated through privilege from so much stuff, you know, where I'm so insulated, I'm not gonna get hassled by the police, none of that shit, right? It's gonna be, everybody is going to be affected.
Yeah.
In another term, he won't have to work for re-election, and it just is that is the true nightmare scenario.
That's what Erica said to me today. Is she went to bed a little early, but at dinner I was just like, "So what do you think of that?" And she was like, "I'm really scared. Like, so I'm just basically scared." And I understand that absolutely. I thought too. Trump also, once again, like, from an analyst point of view, he knows a lot more. He commented on Joe Biden getting in trouble with people like us. He commented on getting in trouble with people that followed the manifesto. He commented on all kinds of very deep level stuff, and had more of an understanding of the situation that even Joe Biden was in, that I think even Joe Biden, when he had to do. He's like, you know, that whole say law and order, you know, you can't type thing was really revolved around, acknowledging who we are, you know. And Bernie Sanders got brought up by both of them. Like,
he has an uncanny ability. It's not uncanny. It's not even weird. But he is a guy that has never been a normal person. But for some reason, he knows how to talk to normal people.
Yeah.
And that is what he was doing. And I think Joe Biden, he's been in that world forever. And he knows how politicians talk to people. He doesn't know how to talk to normal people. So Trump knows, if he says, well, if you had been president, 2 million people would have died. He knows that there's no way to prove that's not true, you know? And he is right that he did say that stopping travel from China was xenophobic. He did say that.
That's true. That's what I mean. That's also something he just controlled the shit out of it. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what I don't know is, like, he reminds me of every successful salesperson at my job. He reminds me of a popular manager. He reminds me of the head of any division. He reminds me of a boss, of a manager, and they're rude fucking assholes. Now, what happens is, after they leave the room, everybody talks trash about them, but it doesn't matter because they're on top.
Yep.
Like, we can all say that guy's deplorable, and it doesn't matter because he has all the reins of fucking power.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
like, that's where I'm getting in. That's where I'm getting into.
I also don't. After last night, I'm much less clear on who's going to win. I think I had really kind of figured Biden was going to win this thing running away, but I think last night, I don't know who it hurt or what it hurt. I'm sure in a couple days we'll start seeing the poll numbers. But, I don't know, man. I'm really nervous about election night this year because I think it's going to be fucking weird.
Yeah, well,
because we know they're not going to have all the ballots. We know that there are places where you're not allowed to open. I mean, you know, obviously you can open it, but you're not allowed to open your mail-in ballot until the day of the election day. So we know that there are going to be a lot of uncounted votes.
Right.
But we also know that there is going to be almost certainly Trump is going to declare victory no matter what fucking happens. Almost, I see that as a virtual certainty. And then what happens after that, I don't fucking know. But I know that the way the Democrats fucking work is that, like, we are probably going to go out into the streets and they are going to concede in order to bring the country back together. That is what they will fucking say. And then we will have 4 more years of him, no matter who wins with the amount of votes that it takes to win. You know, I have in my mind, I am already ready to jump in my car and drive to DC that week. Like, I'm ready to do it. And I will go down there, because if it goes down, I want to be there, you know? And like, I'm just really worried about how this plays out. I don't even know. You know, you hear all these stories about these countries where shit went sideways, and like, this seems to be coming to a head where this could go sideways. Well, this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the Proud Boys shout out was definitely a problem, because, you know, I don't know how I don't think Trump is very calculated. But I think that he has this tacit idea that he knows there's a group of people out there that will do fucking violence for him.
Fuck, I don't think that he cares at all about the Proud Boys. He knows that they are voting for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he knows, I don't think he knows at all what they do. And I think it doesn't matter what he knows. And I don't think it matters what he says. It matters how they perceive it. And they have definitely perceived it as a victory.
Sure.
You know? Yeah. So that's dangerous. It's just, that kind of shit is dangerous, dude. That is exactly, you know, again, all these other times this has happened in history, this kind of shit was going on.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I don't really know. Me and you have learned so much from our travels and our going to these, being at J20, being at different, you know, Black Lives Matter protests and stuff. Like, we have learned a lot from that. And one of the things we've learned is that life appears to go on normally outside of the action, outside of whatever's happening. And to me, it feels like it's going to be very fucking hard to figure out where we are at and what is going on on election night and that week after election night.
Well, yeah. So the thing is that the thing about it is that, you know, everybody is waiting for like a moment where they just turn on the TV and it's like, America's over, and it just goes beep. But, you know, there's going to be groups of people trying to claim America. There's going to be Republicans and Democrats long after like police departments leave some cities, and long after some places like, you know, Portland or Battlegrounds or whatever just become these areas where people take over. We've already seen during those wildfires, we saw it during the hurricanes in Florida over the last couple of years, those fascist fucking assholes show up in all of their EDC guns and ready to go. And they're ready to start taking over territories and shit. And the government doesn't mind them. The government works with them. And the decline of that is going to result in more autonomous zones. But it's not going to be a full-blown, there's no more America anymore.
It'll still be here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Soviet Union, right? Like, I think about that a lot. The sort of the Soviet Union ended, but it was just kind of chaos for a while until a government took hold.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't fucking know what's going to happen. But me and Brett will be there. Whatever happens, we will be there when it happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Just practice running long distances.
I'm not going to do that.
Practice your combat skills.
I'm going to practice getting killed by a Proud Boy. Just, that's what's going to end up happening to me if I have to run a long distance.
I mean, yeah, I think that, like, I don't see either of them as a solution to, like, our early demise, obviously. But I do think, and I saw Kenzo from the Class Time podcast and longtime friend saying that, like, after the debate, he was going to go vote Biden. He was just like, it takes like 5 minutes and I'm just going to go do it. Just, it's like, it's nothing to make a big show out of or to say, I believe this or that. It's just like I said, all those signs, just a big fucking no to Trump. And, you know, you don't have to have faith in it or anything.
I don't have any. But,
right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go do it. And, see where it falls. See, like I said, I don't fucking know what's gonna happen. So
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's going to be challenging times is what we're dealing with. We don't have a government that can deal with this stuff, and one thing that we know about life is it is suffering, and there are bad times. There's no guarantees, so that's coming, and there's going to be less and less of authority to rely on, but that puts the hands in local communities,
Yeah.
which are, I think, good people. Like, I think that even some of the ugliest Facebook posters are good people when it comes down to mutual aid and people in their city,
Yeah, for sure. We'll like I said, we're at the point now where this is what we're gonna probably open the show with every week, just because that's the biggest thing happening. But we're gonna change gears now to something that's gonna piss you off even more. I got this article from Vice early in the weekend. Ashwin Rodriguez wrote it, and I'm just gonna
Ashwin?
Ashwin.
Yeah, that's from Vice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's our guy.
Is that our guy?
We talked to him last week about the TV show.
Right on. All right. So yeah, he wrote this piece from Tech by Vice. And it says, since COVID-19, many Americans fell behind in all aspects, reads the website copy. The button below this statement is not for a GoFundMe or for a petition for calling for rent relief. Instead, it is the following call to action from a company called Civil, Civvl. They left but they did leave one of the vowels in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why not SVL?
Because it's not spelled with an S, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not a good. That is like a real dystopian name for what this product is, and it's Be Hired as an Eviction Crew. It is Uber for evictions.
Do we need that?
I don't think
I
we
guess
need
I'm not.
that.
I didn't know. I don't own enough properties.
You're not a
that.
landlord enough to know. During a time of great economic, and this is from their site. During a time of great economic and general hardship, Civil aims to be essentially Uber, but for evicting people. Seizing on a pandemic-driven nosedive in employment and huge uptick in number of people who can't pay their rent, Civil aims to make it easy for landlords to hire process servers and eviction agents as gig workers. Can you imagine taking the shit pay to do something this evil? You
fucking have to finish up dinner real quick with your family because you just got a notification on your phone to go evict someone.
Yeah. Here's some stuff from their site. In its Craigslist ads posted across the country, Civil explains the opportunity plainly. There is plenty of work due to the dismal economy. Unemployment is at a record high, and many cannot or simply are not paying rent and mortgages, the ads state.
Folks, this economy's abysmal, and you know it.
Yeah, I'm looking. Here it is. Here is the site here. Let's read the ad here, actually. It says earn up to $125 an hour. So
what?
Already evil as fuck, because
that sounds great.
There's just no fucking way you're making that, and it's gonna lead people to do it, And the ad starts out here. Unemployment is at a record high, and many cannot or simply are not paying rent and mortgages. We are being contracted by frustrated property owners and banks to secure foreclosed residential properties. There is plenty of work due to the dismal economy. We are seeking clean-out crews, eviction crews, independent contractors, and process servers. Civil duties, and so it says here's the duties and the information for Civil. It says reliable earnings, earn up to $125 an hour, true flexible schedule, choose your own days to work, no caps or scheduled hours, quick deposits, choose to get paid instantly after every job, track and spend your earnings with Cash App or via check. See and accept the assignment via the Civil Agent app. So that's how you select it. And there's plenty of work, and you can do quick sign up. You got to be 18 years or older, and then have a smartphone and a minimal background check, it says.
There's no advanced training for doing any of this, process server and shit?
I don't think so.
Legal,
dude.
legal documents?
Yeah, it basically, let's go to I'm going to the application process. I'll go to the application process for
$125 an hour. I would work for the devil for that much money.
Yeah, this is not something that I could.
It just says that, but it's just, I mean, it's a matter of like, hey, we need people to evict people. It's like, I'm not going to do that for $10 an hour. And it's like, well, you do it for $125, and it's like, well,
there are a lot of people that
tell
need
anybody.
Money.
Yes.
There are a lot of dudes that need money now, and it's like kind of like, you know, I once knew a repo guy for cars,
right?
And like they wanted to quit that job the whole time. Like it's an anxiety-inducing job. It is a bummer. You don't feel like you're on the right side in the situation, and but there was nowhere else to go. The amount of money being made was crazy.
What are you gonna do? Punch a clock? You're gonna do Uber Eats and get paid $7 an hour and do damage to your car so that it works out to $4.65 an hour?
Yeah, it says get started ASAP. There are many advantages to being and civil. You can make extra money, control your own schedules, market yourself, and find new clients. This is the application. We'll go ahead and fill out the application.
We'll get in there.
You are your own business and will be working as an independent contractor. You're not an employee of civil. We don't supervise, direct, or control your work.
You can't you can't go to jail for doing a bad job, right? Like, could we?
No.
Go there and do a bad job.
I don't know what would happen. To be clear, you will not be evicting people. The local sheriff will handle that. You are an after-the-fact necessity of clearing out the property after the court-ordered judgment eviction has taken place.
What?
So you're basically there to... So what'll happen is the sheriff will go out and do the official, like, scram.
You're out.
And then you go in and either you serve them the papers for their debt, or you move the stuff out of the house and throw it outside.
You clean the shit up.
That's the two things.
Yeah, someone in the chat did say state process servers are usually state licensed. I'm guessing there's some way they can robo-sign that and get you to just fucking put it on your civil app and bring it with you to the sheriff.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah. Looks like they're still taking my stuff. I'm getting my shit in there.
You gonna do it?
I'm not gonna do the job. I'm just seeing like what the application process is like.
Yeah, the cleaning out places, that's like my brother-in-law cleans out apartments for Ohio State, like when people leave.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I know a lot of people that do that too. I know a lot of people that... My mom did that for a while, and if you're leaving, that's fine.
TJ Borg in the chat says in the app reviews, it says you have to pay $35 to get the background check.
What?
So they're probably just getting $35 out of people, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably getting they pay $25 to get it done, selling weed type shit.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a whole pain in the ass. Let's see. We filled it all out. $35. It says you got to say if you're at least 18, if you have a valid unexpired line. Yeah, this is kind of the regular shit. So it looks like an individual.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're trying to fill it out right now?
Well, I'm just trying to get through the pages to see there's only 4 of them. So then they ask for your ID, and I'm not going to give that to them. So I guess we're done. Sick fucking country that this is. That's just a sick thing to fucking do. So fuck them. Let's do something more fun, I think. Would you like to do something like that?
Yeah, I like fun stuff.
We got 2 choices. We can do interview do's and don'ts. It's a video where a person gives us some clues, and then we can take a look at another video where we could answer a few questions. I think that's the way to go, but we also have a Walmart anti-union video. So we have 2 choices here. It's a choose your own adventure for the chat, I guess. And I think we could do the interview questions, because that would be a good time, and we could goof around with it. But the anti-union video, I did watch it today. There are things in there to cover. It seems okay.
What do you think, chat? Do you want
let us know, Chatterino. And while we wait, I'll tell a story about this HR article I saw earlier today about voting.
I'm gonna hit my nectar collector.
I saw an article earlier today about voting, where some poor soul, some person that's just maybe too good for this world, I believe, asked the question, do I need to take PTO to vote?
Holy shit.
And I was like, you are a sweet, naive soul, sir or madam. And yes, I don't think anybody's giving paid time off to vote. Like, I don't think anybody's giving you the time to vote. They have, and the answer to the question is they have to let you go vote. They cannot tell you that you have to work the entire time that the polls are open.
Really?
They have to let you vote.
I didn't know
but
that.
They do not have to pay you, which is a lot like fucking FMLA, which is dog shit, where it's like they have to let you off, but they don't have to pay you.
I think I remember doing that now. I think I remember taking a few extra hours and just being like, man, my place was just backed up.
Yeah. You can get away with that. What do we got here? What are we doing?
Being like all out, actually being out of PTO, where they have to give you unpaid hours, which is something they never do.
Yeah,
they never let anybody work unpaid. But finding a loophole where like it's voting, it's November, dog. I gotta go fucking do my civic duty. I need 4 hours.
Take a fucking half day, dude.
Yeah,
if I was working a real job now, I would fucking. I mean, I guess you probably can't get away with that at like a grocery store or a restaurant or something like that. But if I'm working in an office, I'm taking a half day. I'm saying I waited 4 hours to vote.
All right.
There's just no way.
Let me see what we got here for choices. So we got 1, 2, 3 for interviews.
That's
Walmart.
So it's 3 and 3?
And Walmart.
All right. So we'll give them one more second to see if they did the interview.
We know which one you want.
I like fucking around with answers.
Do the one you want. Do the one that you want.
Well, there is a treat if we do the interview don'ts for Brett.
Is there enough time for all of them?
There might be. I don't know. There is always next week. There is always another week.
It's true. I've heard that before.
So,
all right. They chose interviews. They did the right thing.
Let's do interviews.
The chat's just overwhelming. After you pressured them, they got the hint.
Let's do some interview do's and don'ts, Brett. Yeah. I need some don'ts and some do's. Because...
Hello there,
Oof. Come on, dude. Cool
That sounds
down.
very excited already.
Charlie
I heard just 1 second clip is very excited.
Well, he's a British guy, so we're going to learn interviews from the British perspective. Or maybe Australian.
Interesting.
I don't know.
He sounded Aussie to me, but I don't know.
He could be Aussie, so let's just fucking go right into this.
This is the title of this video is Entry-Level Job Interview Questions and Answers.
This is really a service for our listeners, more than anything. We're playing... this video by this Australian fella who you know. But the funny thing about these videos, Brett, that I have found is there are probably 15 videos with more views than this guy, and also 15 more videos with just more subscriber count and everything else. Every one of them doesn't give you the answers to the questions. They try to send you to a website where you have to buy something.
Ebooks. It's all about funneling you to an ebook.
Evil. This one is too, but I listened to it and I know we're good.
This is also really antiquated, I think, in a way already. In like the modern interviewing space, I don't think you're gonna get past anybody with boilerplate shit like my biggest weakness is that I cared about my job too much.
I tell you the truth, I don't think that's true.
Really?
I think that for entry level positions at major corporations or at maybe a fast food restaurant or something like that, the interview process is never going to change.
Okay.
It's been the same since 1920.
Pretend that you want this job a lot and pretend that you care about it deeply and you will pledge fealty to us.
Say the right words.
Yeah.
That's the thing that
say the right
we've
words.
Always talked about on this show. We've always talked about job interviews like a game. We have always explained that like it's not about who you are or what kind of fucking person you are. It is absolutely about saying the right combination of words. It's like a thing where you're moving words around in such a way that you're saying something that sounds like there is a right answer is what I'm trying to say. There is a 100, there is a wrong, there are millions of wrong answers and one or two right answers for every interview question. So let's hear it.
Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company PassMyInterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to pass an entry-level job interview.
Thank you, buddy. What was his name again? George McMunn or something?
Rutchard McMorial.
Rick.
Rutchard. I think it was Rutchard.
Rutchard Rictaccio.
What was the... Okay.
John.
He might be British, too. That shit kind of sounded British.
Yeah,
he said
Giancarlo Chang.
Yeah, Giancarlo.
Yeah, Giancarlo Concecchio.
Yep.
That's probably was his name.
So it does not matter which position you are applying for. Make sure you stay tuned. Watch the presentation fully from start to finish, because I promise to help you succeed.
Thank you. So nobody ever promises that. They just say you might succeed. They don't promise you that you will succeed.
I think this is such a fucking... I'm just going to say this from a business...
Can you hit 9?
Standpoint. I don't think that works, dude.
It doesn't?
If we did... No, we have to have it set up that other way. This video is nothing. There's like... I promise everybody there's nothing on this video.
It's just clip art people. I mean, be white. That is one of the good... That is what he has. Like, visually, be one of 5 white people for the job.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. It is all white people. So that might be a thing. But the thing I think about this in a pure business sense, just as a guy who doesn't give half of a shit really about business, but also like has to make money to live, selling ebooks to people that don't have jobs seems...
I mean, man, we can't judge him. We chose a pretty broke audience.
We do actually do the same thing where it's like we're now making fun of job interviews. But we're making fun of a guy that's doing them right.
Right, for trying to get a job. Like, this asshole is actually trying to get employed.
This is a service to our listeners, okay?
Yeah, I think this is actually, this probably help some people out, maybe.
Oh, God, it will.
And to achieve that goal, this is what I will cover.
Thank you.
I am going to give you a list of common entry-level job interview questions that I strongly advise you prepare.
Okay, good.
I'm going to give you brilliant, unique answers to common entry-level interview questions. I'm going to give you some tips on how to stand out during your interview, even when you have zero experience.
1, he called his answers unique and brilliant. Now, I did watch this video earlier. I want you to, after in the chat, just in the chat, on in your brain while you're working or whatever, I want you to assess whether each answer is brilliant. And me and Brett will obviously, after the answers, we will assess on a scale of 1 to 10 how brilliant the answers are.
Sure. Sorry.
Also, can I say that, like, if you're going into an entry-level job, by definition, you have zero experience.
Right. I mean, I think this is the problem with this. Immediately, all I see is somebody trying to memorize this guy's answer and completely butchering it in an interview.
Yeah, that's the danger of these kind of things, you know?
This kind of stuff just lends itself to people that do too much research.
Well, it's
like these ebooks and all of this. There's an entire industry like based upon interviewing correctly, and people spend hours and hours on it all the time. And they aren't like interviewing and just making it through and figuring out how to be natural and express themselves and all of that stuff. So you end up trying to memorize this guy's fucking response.
It is. Maybe that's why some of them don't give questions and don't give answers. But I I mean, that's what I would do. If I was faced with this, I would just switch some of the words around in this guy's answers and just be like, hey, you know, I would do is just move my hands around while I talk so it looks like it was coming off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm just going, that's you're right. To expand on that, this comes off as complete trickster energy. Like, if you know how to plagiarize properly, you don't copy and paste some shit over. You change things. You make it your own. You have it together enough to tell it in your own way. You're not just going to repeat somebody else's thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I was a memorizer, and let's get into this actually. So, I would say that the most successful job interview that I ever had, the most successful experience I ever had getting a job would have to be the cable company, which is a job that doesn't just hire anybody. You know, I was getting in entry level, but they don't hire every person that fills out an application.
Sure.
Like a lot of my other jobs they just hire everybody that fills out an application.
Right. Well, and also in the way that the cable industry has moved to, which is independent contractor, because it's much cheaper, having somebody on staff, paying for their tools, paying for their van, you are investing, an amount of money into this employee.
Yes, for training. Like the 4 weeks you train.
Right.
And all of that shit. Yeah, and you're trusting them with a bunch of shit. So, like, that would be my most successful interview. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about that interview. I did not have interview clothes. I didn't own them. Okay?
Have you ever?
No. Why? I mean, I guess back then I should have had them.
You wore
I'll tell you what I wore.
You had a collared shirt for your graduation, right?
No. I wore a Young Bucks t-shirt under my graduation gown.
Okay.
It said Super Kick Party. It looked kind of like the Bullet Club thing.
Yeah.
Good old days. When I went to that interview, I had to do something, and I was broke as fuck, and I couldn't buy clothes, so I put on...
Oh, God, I'm wincing already. For anybody that's not watching, I'm wincing.
A short sleeve, button-up shirt.
But all the way or what?
All the way up, button-up shirt that had a pocket on the side and was like a plaid kind of, but it was set up like more of a something you wear in the backyard, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking Grill Dad.
Yes,
stuff.
It's a Grill Dad shirt, and then the issue would be that all I had was jeans.
Okay.
In my pants collection, except for one thing. And that was a pair of khaki Element shorts.
Elements?
You remember the brand Element?
I haven't seen that in forever. That one is gone.
That was 2002. Though.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, so I
love that. Yeah, I love them.
I threw on the Element shorts.
Okay.
And I went
Were
in.
They just straight pipes, like no anything extra?
No, they were put together like they could conceivably if you were going to a more formal backyard barbecue.
Yeah,
I would be dressed like one of the better dressed persons.
Got the cackalack and the plaid on the top.
Yeah.
What about the shoes? What was the shoes?
It was soaps.
Soaps? No way. No way.
Why would I lie? I had soaps.
That's so cool, man. They're worth so much money now still.
It was soaps with... I didn't have the grind plate on them, though. I had taken that off.
Why did you have soaps, then?
Well, I mean, I wore the grind plate sometimes, but I took it off
because you were doing professional stuff. Ma'am, I'm not going to grind. I'm not going to grind in this cable factory. I won't be grinding, and don't worry about the handrails out there. I'll leave them untouched. That's my promise. Grinding is simply a home activity. It's my off time.
But believe me, when you ask me what kind of hobbies I have, I will let you know. Grinding is one.
People don't know. There was a pair of shoes in the late 90s called Soaps, and they had a plastic plate across the middle of them so that you could jump and slide down rails like you were on rollerblades or skateboard. It was mostly it was
the bottom middle.
Yeah, it was mostly like rollerblade grinding. I had them. I loved them. I ground around the whole school. And And I would still fucking fuck with them.
I
still slide down on my ass down like a huge rail.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll I'll eat the dirt. Like I will literally fall on fucking pavement and get like raspberry on my arm from trying to ride a rail too big.
The grind plates were heavy though.
No, they weren't.
On the shoes. That's why I took them off.
I just thought
they felt heavy.
Sometimes you'd hit a piece of gravel and you're like just spinning.
Yeah.
you're basically just spinning on a little plastic.
It was, but you weren't out there for safety. You were out there to grind.
Yeah, mostly grinding.
You fucking. I should have grinded to the interview.
Get a nice Royale in or something
instead of driving into Nissan 200 SX that we had owned at the time and smoking 15 cigarettes with the window cracked. Walk into the interview just reeking like cigarettes, wearing shorts. Don't shake the guy's hand. Did not shake his hand.
Didn't shake their hand?
Yeah. And then I also
Why not?
learned
Was that a choice or?
I, for some reason at that time, had decided that I don't shake hands.
You still do.
What?
You don't shake hands now either.
I will. You know.
If someone makes you?
I shake hands after shows and shit.
Okay.
Like people will walk up to me and try to want to shake my hand after live shows, and I'll shake every single hand of every person. I hug people now. You know, I'm a lot more. At that time, though, I was really into the shock jock shit, and a lot of those guys are germ phobes and like freaked out about germs, and I thought that was like the coolest way to be.
Yeah, because they hate people and they think all people are disgusting like mongrels that are covered in bacteria.
Exactly. So that was what was going on. So I walked in, and when he went to shake my hand, I waved at him, like a wave, and then
just like
I'll
just
never forget
little
that.
like a Muppet hand, just waving back.
Like hey. It was a fast wave. I'll show you exactly what I did. He put his hand out like this, and I went, oh hey, and then sat down in the chair.
Okay. That's a big time. I mean, you leave someone. I mean, in that situation, it's like the debate. If someone puts their hand out and you don't shake their hand, you're an asshole. But at the same time, you also made them look pathetic.
Yeah, but then like after that, it really was. I was on my heels the whole time, and here's how I had handled the prep for this interview. I wrote my answers down word for word. Every answer that I had, I wrote it down word for word, and then the night before, remembered them like lines. Now, he didn't ask the questions I thought he was going to ask, I would be fucked. I had two friends that worked there.
Oh.
But they didn't have an interview template.
Sure.
You know, but they told me a lot of the questions he was going to ask, but they said there were going to be other questions. Like, that they're different for everybody. And it would just be more of a free-flowing conversation, which is what I'm good at. And I think that's how I ultimately ended up with the job. But the first...
You were like, can we smoke weed in here? And they're like, I'm glad you asked.
But once he took off, once he got off the subject, right? Once he got off the questions I knew were going to be asked and I had memorized.
Okay.
Because this was my process every time. And I didn't get a lot of jobs.
Get him to talk about corn. Just drag him into talking about corn.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite bands is Korn, you know?
Well, no, convince them that their favorite band is Korn.
Yeah,
so then you seem like, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you dragged me into this. We're like best buds. I can't wait to work here.
He did like my music, though.
See?
Once after I was hired, I was guest DJ. I've told you about that. I was guest DJ on CD 101, and I played music, and I played a few White Stripes song. I played a White Stripes song and some other stuff, and he was like, oh, I really like your music, Brian. You're like a interesting guy who likes really good music. And I was like, I also like really bad music.
Yeah, mostly the bad stuff.
But anyway, as we talked, once he went off of my scripted material that was always scripted, once we went off of that, it became a conversation that I just had to engage in with a person. And like I can say now without it being like a totally arrogant thing that I'm pretty good conversationalist. Well, and like that was, I think, when I got the job. That was how I got hired. It was just once he started talking to me, he was like, oh, this guy's whatever people see in me. I don't know what it is, but it works.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I don't want to extend it too long, but I have the same experience with interviews, and I don't think I'm special or better or anything, but I just have that skill to just go off the record and just get somebody to start talking about shit they never thought they'd be talking about, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I like that. I like that guy. I don't know why. He didn't answer the questions. We ended up talking about like pickled fucking vegetables or something. But I think that I think we'll hire him.
I did have a funny thing happen because I weighed 110 at the time. I was 5'11", 110. And just so thin, right?
So fucking just pressed plaid shirt.
5'11", 110.
Soaps. Just ready to do free walking.
Fade hairdo. Fade, yeah.
No hats.
No
you had
hats.
hair.
I had hair at the time.
You were faded?
So I had a fade, yeah. I always had a fade. That was the only haircut I had ever in my life.
Okay.
Fade and then shaved head. That was it. I had a fade all the way through high school, and for the first, probably, I don't know, 7 years after high school, I had a fade.
Okay.
But there was a point where the guy was like, so you're a pretty thin guy. Do you think you could lift an 80-pound ladder? And I was like, yeah. That was just, I kind of answered it like, yeah, of course. And when he said 80 pounds, the first thing I thought was like, I don't know if I can lift an 80-pound ladder.
I've never actually tried. I've never tried lifting 80 pounds.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we're going to get from Jeremy Bernschnacksky. That's his name.
Sherpy.
Jerfany. That was his actual name.
And I will also tell you about further resources you can get access to, including these slides.
We know what you'll do that.
I mean,
so there's 4 reasons.
There's so many people that made hundreds of $1,000s on a $1.99 eBay ebook.
Yeah. And that was the best kind of one to sell because people will. This is probably the most amount of books people buy, I think, like regular ass people.
Self-help is huge. Career stuff, absolutely, people love it.
How to get a job, I think, every single working class person, when I was working a real job and you know, whether it was a cable or it was a phone call center, like all of them owned a book about how to get a job.
I mean, when you look at the statistics, though, I remember, this was a number from back in the recession from 2009, 10 years ago, was people on average had to interview for 40 jobs sometimes to get work.
Fuck, I don't know how I ever got a job because I think I've done like 7 job interviews.
But it's just something that it is an industry. It's an absolute fucking industry.
For sure. All right, here we go. We're going to start getting into questions now.
I strongly advise you stay tuned, and
of course
don't forget to tell me the name of your job interview in the comment section below the video. I will give you some more tips to help you succeed.
Really?
Let's get straight into it.
All right, here we go.
The first question is, tell me about yourself. So this is guaranteed to be the first interview question that you will need to answer.
True. Okay. They do this. They do some variation of this in some way.
We're going to get with he's going to tell us 3 things to cover, and then me and Brett are going to answer the question for you.
Okay.
Just to show, to see, you know.
Sure you cover the following 3 areas. Tell them what you are like as a person, including your most appealing qualities and traits.
I can do that.
Tell them what you enjoy doing from a work perspective.
All right.
And tell them what you're going to be like in the position.
All right. So we have received some tips, and now we're at a job interview. And Brett, if you want me to go first,
we don't have tips yet.
That's 3 tips. We're going to cover that within your response. You need to do these 3 things.
These aren't the tips, though.
Yeah, it is. It says tip right next to it. This is guaranteed to be the first interview question you'll need to answer.
All right.
Within your response, you need to cover these 3 things. Okay? What you're like as a person, including your most appealing qualities and traits. What you enjoy doing from a work perspective, and what you're going to be like in the position. That is what they want from you.
Do you want me to ask you?
Yeah, go ask me first because I got this.
Do we know the position is?
What position are we going to have?
Podcast? Are you trying to get into another podcast?
Well, we can do podcaster. Yeah, I'm signing up at the local insurance company. They need a podcaster to come in, and they need them to do the inter-office communications podcast. Okay.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing, like big time insurance company.
Yep. Okay.
And then boom, I'm also got to write. I got to write the company newspaper. I got to fucking organize like conferences and meetings. It's like a whole. It's not just podcaster. When I work,
communicator.
Yes, when I worked at Calltech, the call center, there was a local radio DJ, an ex-local morning radio DJ that worked there, and her job was director of joy, which is just like a sort of job they made up to have a
Not
local
real.
radio DJ work there. And so that's what I'll be. I'll be the director of joy. It's a human resources position.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for coming today. We really appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm sorry I didn't shake your hand. I'm weird about germs.
No, I appreciate that little wavy thing you did. It's very unique. So let's get started. I just want to know what you're like as a person. Like, what are your most appealing qualities and traits?
Okay, here I go. This is the true answer because I
won't look at you.
stuttering there. So I want to start now. Tell me about yourself. What are your qualities and traits? I answer the whole question here. Well, as a person, I like to think of myself as charismatic and handsome. And those are really some of my more appealing qualities and traits. I'm kind, I'm a good father, and a fucking bang-up employee.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
wow.
I mean, and
well, we have, this is inner office. We have people of different, beliefs when it comes to language.
Yeah, and I would say this too. What I enjoy doing from a work perspective, I wouldn't say that part. Let me start that part over.
Yeah, let me ask. I wanted to address your language.
You're going to address each. Okay, go ahead. I said F.
Yeah, why did you say fuck?
It's a power move. I was told that the person interviewing you wants to see that you have confidence, and I'm trying to project that for you,
You know what, Mr. Quimby? You're right.
You're
absolutely fucking right.
Exactly. So
let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this.
Sidebar. Always use the F word. Always say fuck in an interview. It shows, or damn or hell. You can, if you're worried about fuck, you can use shit, damn or hell. Like they're a lot less.
Yep. You can pack them into any interaction you have at work.
Yeah.
It just makes everything feel more badass while we're here,
Yeah, that's what we want. I'm hiring a fucking communications director,
I am.
man.
No, I'm hiring you.
Yeah, you are. I'll be hiring you in a minute.
I mean, I don't know about that. Don't get ahead of yourself.
All right, I'm ready. What do you enjoy from a work perspective? Go ahead.
Do you have a cheat sheet? Did you read are you doing a cheat sheet over there or something? I wanted to know, Brian, and I came up with this myself. What do you enjoy doing from a work perspective?
Well, when it comes to a work perspective, I really like to do nothing. I say maybe we'll sleep in the bathroom a little bit.
Okay.
But in the end, I will get the work that you want done. And that is the kind of thing that you can expect from me. You will hand me work. I will do the work. And that's kind of what I'm like. That's my work ethic. That's what I enjoy doing, is just give me the work.
Getting it done.
And I'll do the work. And then, that satisfaction of getting it done and being able to hide under my desk or something for the rest of the day.
Well, I don't know how you do it, Mr. Quimby, but we're here to get the work done. I mean, it's astonishing that you don't know anything about our company. You don't know about how things go around here, but we are just here to get the work done. So I'm quite impressed. Let me ask you another question here. What do you think you would be like in this position as the director of Joy and HR podcast host?
One thing that I can tell you is that your worst employees will love me. A lot. We will get along. And, if you want to toss in maybe a little extra 10% onto what you're already planning to offer me, which I don't know yet. I don't know what you're offering. I fully realize that. But if you're able to toss me an extra 10% on that, I will try to get your worst employees to work 10% harder.
All right. Well, try is all we can ask for.
Yes. So that's my attempt at the tell me about yourself situation. Are you ready to tell me about yourself, Brett?
I think so. I hope I can do it.
All right. So the director of joy position is an important position in large insurance company, Inc. Okay? It's too important for you. And I see you're wearing a suit, which I like. I do like that. Okay? But here we go. What do you like as a person, including your most appealing qualities and traits?
Well, I'm able to force people to get things done for me, and that has helped a lot with what I can accomplish. My best qualities and traits are, sometimes when everything feels like it's going wrong, I'm able to make everybody feel worse, and that makes everybody laugh.
Yeah. You know what? That's something we need around the office, to tell you the truth.
It's just that, like, people think they have it bad, but I can show them worse, and we can have a laugh about it.
Yeah.
And that's what's bound me to every single coworker I've ever had.
And that's perfect for the position of director of joy, really.
Yeah.
Profound sadness.
Sometimes people are trying to force people up. You can go low.
Yeah.
You can dig a hole.
So what you're saying to me is, like, if you make people extra miserable, then the smallest thing will provide joy to them.
That's how you get it done.
All right. Well, what do you enjoy doing from a work perspective?
Oh, geez. I usually like to watch a TV show while I'm working. That just helps me stay focused. If I can have two monitors, one with the series going and one with my work on the other side. I really enjoy, from a work perspective, I can make a lot of spreadsheets that will seem very complicated to you. Like, you will just be impressed, and you're going to think that I spent an entire month on it, and I didn't. So
that's nice.
You will think that. You'll pay for it too.
You will.
You're going to pay for a month's work on it.
You will love it. And, we want to hire multitaskers. Now, generally, we would like you to multitask on several different work projects, but watching TV while you do one project is also multitasking. So I can't really ding you for that.
Yeah, and, if we're going to have a Stranger Things themed kickball team, then I want to be up on it. I want to get office morale up. We're all going to dress up as the Strangers Thing gang for Halloween.
Okay. So
I don't want to be presumptuous. I know I haven't been hired yet, but I plan on having group Halloween costumes with all of my coworkers.
Well, see, now I feel like I have to hire you.
I didn't mean to do that to you.
I have several other candidates for this. I have a young man named Brian Quinby.
Sure.
That is a candidate for this, who said that if you tossed him an extra few bucks, he would do extra things for me.
The 10% on 10%.
That's what it's called, 10% on 10%.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee, but it's something I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
And finally, what will you be like in this position, Mr. Payne?
I mean, I'll be out of your hair. You won't see me. You won't know what I'm doing. Everybody will respect me in a way where they won't be able to confront me about what I'm actually getting accomplished. But I think you'll be happy with the type of stuff I write in the emails to you. I think you'll be really impressed with the things with the things I say that I'm doing and what I'm accomplishing. I think you'll be very impressed by that.
I like the things I like somebody who's willing to tell you what they're doing.
Yeah, just do impressive stuff.
Noticing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just point out all the impressive things that I'm doing to you. Whenever's necessary, once a day, twice a day, whatever you need,
All right,
I'm flexible.
We got to see what this guy answered. So let's go right in.
So here is my suggested answer to the first common entry job level interview question.
What do we got here?
Tell
What
me
do we
about
got?
yourself. I am a very positive person.
What?
Who has ambitious plans for
Fake.
the future. I enjoy
You're
being
fake.
around people.
I mean, this really comes off like he wrote a list of stuff down. It's not like me and you are way more conversational.
Let's do the whole thing before we jump his ass.
Okay.
Just get the whole thing. It's
it
a
all
lot.
out.
It's so fucking bad.
It is a lot.
People. And I have found over the years that I'm most comfortable and happy when I am helping and supporting others and when I feel I am continually growing and developing. Although I have
pause
little
it.
work experience,
Yeah.
I am enthusiastic.
That is somebody trying to convince you that they're not a serial killer. I'm a very positive person who has ambitious plans for the future.
That's
Who
true,
says
though.
that? I mean, rise and grind people on Instagram, maybe. I enjoy being around people, and I'm comfortable and happy helping and supporting others. Nobody is like that.
No, that
Nobody
doesn't even
is
sound
like
good.
that.
That doesn't even sound like something.
You're lying.
Yeah, you know what people think when you ask them to support them, which is ask for help at work? They try to go to another area and stand by the coffee maker for a few minutes so that you go and find somebody else. Like, I hated helping people at work, you know? I helped people at the cable company just so I could hang out with them, but if the manager told me I needed to go help somebody, I was like, oh, fuck, man, fuck this guy, you know?
I don't have an issue with it, but it's not the first. Like, nobody lives in service of other people.
No.
Basically, a lot of people are looking for an hourly wage. Suckers. They don't know how to live life. They don't know what the exuberance of existence is like. When you're supporting your fellow coworkers and making them feel comfortable so that they can continually grow and develop, that's when you're really living, my friend.
It's ridiculous. It's such a bad answer. It sounds
It's so
like somebody
fake. It's like,
reading a
get the
list.
fuck out, dog.
Yeah,
get out of here.
you.
Fuck you, you lying-ass piece of shit. What are you, Jesus?
I just had two fucking
You fucking
guys come in
Jesus?
here cursing and fucking telling me what they were really gonna do, and then you come walking in here and fucking this is what you have for me.
So you know what somebody told me? They told me they would tell me what I want to hear. Why aren't you doing that? I don't want to hear this.
That's true. That's true. All right, here's the next part.
Others, and when I feel I am continually growing.
Well, the
and
end of the
developing.
first part.
Although I have little work experience, I am enthusiastic. Others have said I'm good to be around, and I'm somebody who can be left alone to do a job properly and to a high standard.
So that's, although I have little work experience, I am enthusiastic. Others have said I am good to be around. That's an odd one. That is, the others have said I am good to be around is an odd one because nobody feels that way about themselves. I'm serious when I say nobody in this world feels that others like to be around them.
I do.
Okay. Well,
I feel like the king. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just would never say it.
No, it's an odd
It's just
thing to
something
say.
like I would never say that like I'm the life of the party, but I do believe I'm the life of the party. I think that if you say it out loud, you're an asshole.
So do you think
you can't actually buy into it that you are like a good, agreeable, likable person because you're not. People complain about you. Everybody you know fucking complains about you.
And what is the people like? I if I'm the interviewer, here's what I say to that. I say like this: when did people say that about you? Like in what context did people say that?
Okay, who did that?
It's an odd thing to say.
My friend Jake, he said he really likes me.
Yeah. All right, here's the last.
Can I use the restroom? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to too.
Really? We gotta take turns on this? It's fine.
Well, you go and then I'll go and then.
Okay.
I mean, we could both go at the same time. Really.
I'll sit and you go through my legs?
No, we could go and then just come back. I don't think people are going to leave the chat if we're gone for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. We'll be back.
I'm back, baby. So this guy's full of shit, right? Like, these are bad. These are actually bad interview questions, I believe. You know, this is just for the people in the chat. I think this is going to get cut out because, I don't know, it'll just sound better coming out the other way, you know? But yeah, this guy's terrible. His answers are terrible. This is who people are going to in order to find out how to get through a job interview, which I find to be madness. It's just not for me. But all right, we're gonna get question number 3 in here now. Brett's here. He's got to get his headphones in, and then old answer. Here's another answer from our guy, and
what's his name? Shooney?
Yeah, Cherry Smingba.
Shooney Merkham.
Yeah. And this is what I will be like in the position.
Now, if you choose to hire me, one thing I can promise you is I will act as a positive role model for the company. I will treat your customers well,
Okay.
and I will make sure I
Wow.
contribute to the team in a positive way so that your business continues to be successful.
Yeah, I don't know, like, it's like that makes sense, but like if you were hiring, like nobody could possibly believe or say that. It would be so suspect.
It's not how humans talk.
No,
and that's,
it's not.
But that is what interviewers are looking for.
I mean, yeah, I think that it would impress somebody. Yeah, in the moment, I guess, when you got the fancy clothes on, well, for you, the patio clothes on. But for the rest of us that we have button Oxford shirts on and everything, you just say, you know what, I don't know who you're going to decide in this crazy mixed up world. You know, you got so many people trying to get jobs. But the one thing I can promise you is I will be a positive role. I will be
That's
a
an odd
positive.
one.
That is like,
That's an odd,
You've already-
presumptuous thing to say.
already full bore, like into it. Like, I love this place. I'm here because I'm just a fan. I'm just fanatic. I gotta be a part of this. I gotta be in there. Please let me in the org.
I'm a fanatic for this place.
That is a brilliant answer.
Whoa!
And it sets you up with confidence
Brilliant.
for the remainder
Not brilliant.
of your interview.
Scale of 1 to 10 in brilliance, I'm going to give that a 4.
Yeah, here's the thing. You gotta dumb it down. You can't do brilliance.
No, you have to do what me and you did. You have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be real with these fucking people. That's what they want. If I was hiring somebody, I would hire Brett.
Yeah, I'd hire you.
Yeah, see?
The next question I want you to prepare for is, why are you interested in this position?
Okay.
Now, most people will apply for literally scores of different jobs in the hope
Scores of
they will
them.
eventually
Scores.
get offered one. Now, whilst there's nothing wrong with that, the hiring manager wants to hear you have researched the role carefully and that you have the skills and qualities to carry out your duties to a high standard.
All right. Why are you interested in this position? Now, I can answer this very fast. And this is something interviewers love me, because watch this, Brett. You asked me this question. You ready?
Yeah, run with it.
Go for it.
So Mr. Quimby, why exactly are you interested in this position?
Because I need money, and I hear that you will give me money if I have this job.
I don't know. Kind of
They love it.
They
And I'll
don't
tell
like
you
that.
why. Quick interview. They're trying to get through these fucking things. You know, they might have 40 interviews to do that day. I come in there, boom, 1 sentence answer. That's a question we've moved past. Not long-winded, and exactly tells you the truth about why I want that position.
Yeah.
Very smart. This is fucking 12th dimensional chess thinking. We all want to get out of work early. We all want to go home. Some guy comes into my job interview and he fucking just fires through it. You know, he just fucking tears through it. You know, usually it's a 40-minute job interview. I did this, guys, in 15 fucking minutes. He's hired. He saved me plenty of man minutes.
Right.
You know? So that's my answer. And smart, dude. You know, that's strategy. That's fucking seeing. That's fucking like a quarterback who can just like see the whole field.
This is the one you really gotta you gotta fluff them on this.
Okay, I gotta hear this.
I mean, you just gotta go with well, I mean, this place has a great reputation. I mean, I've heard about it, before I ever applied. I've known that this is, a great place to work. It's a great environment, something I want to be a part of.
How could you possibly say that at a company like the cable company?
Why? Oh,
you're lying.
No, at the cable company.
Because they have a terrible reputation.
Well, at the cable company, you just want to say, the cable company, I would go with something like, I'm looking for stability. I really just want to have a job for the rest of my life. Like, you want to pledge fealty. Like, you want to say that, like, I'm going to be here forever. If you're doing a utilities, it's just like I don't plan on like this being a fad or like a phase in my life. I'm going to do this for a long time.
True.
A lot of places want that.
Yeah, let me ask you. You want me to ask you the question, or you already gave your answer, right?
Yeah.
You're not okay. Let's see what Jerry's answer is. It's more normal.
Here's my example answer to help you.
Thank you.
Why are you interested in this position?
All right.
My career is important to me, and I want to start off in a job where there is lots to learn, where I will have the opportunity to take on lots of challenging tasks, and where I will have to perform to a consistently high standard to help my team.
I just want to be challenged.
You're asking for a consistently high standard?
I want to be challenged.
I don't want that.
That is a good answer. But it's not a good answer because, once again, the way they write it is horrible. But if you can say this in your own way, I think you got something, which is just to say, I really just can't wait. Like, I'm so excited. I can't think about getting in there 9 to 5, man. I just want to be a part of it. I want to get at the water cooler and do a little bit of gossip or something.
Let me tell you what the first part of this says to me.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'll say it in my language. This first part, I'm going to say it in Brian Quinby language. Hey, man, just put all the roadblocks you want in front of me, and I'll fucking just keep jumping through them. Whatever hoops, I'll jump through them. Whatever roadblocks, I'll barrel right fucking through. That's what I want from you. I want you to make this job harder and harder and harder all the time. And you know what? The reason I want that is because that's just what you people are going to do anyway, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay. They probably don't want to hear that.
That's true, but
I researched your company quite a bit before the interview.
Don't say
Not
that.
only do your customers love your products and services, but people I have spoken to about your business had nothing but positive things to say.
You do have to look him up. You do have to look him up. I just to like pause the timeout. Let's do a timeout on the jokes and stuff. You have to look him up before you do an interview.
Yeah, I never did that either. That might be why I only got a few jobs.
Somebody wrote in and said they got caught not knowing what the company fucking did, and when they were like, they didn't bother to Google them or something.
Is that embarrassing? That's gotta feel. I mean, I guess like if you're not getting the job, they're not gonna be fucking uncomfortable about it. In the interview.
No.
But you're gonna be uncomfortable around it for just basically for the rest of your until you get a job.
Sure.
Like, because that's the thing when you do multiple interviews for jobs is when you don't get that job, you start thinking back to like, what question did I biff on?
Why didn't they like me?
Should I have worn pants to this?
Yeah.
Should I have worn long pants?
Do I need to invest in a collared shirt?
Well, I was wearing a collared shirt.
Oh, you are. It's fucking grinding tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Passionate about working in this industry.
Okay.
And although this is going to be my first job, I see this as a place I can stay working at for a long period of time whilst continually developing professionally in the position.
I was right. You have to. I mean, there's a weird. I think that it's odd the way that the career landscape has changed because I've witnessed the way my wife has handled it, which is changing jobs every 3 to 5 years. Because when you do that, you get a 10% increase in your pay, which is much higher than staying with your company that's going to pay you inflation wages. So, like like the recruiter should be looking for someone that is someone that's coming in to say, I'm coming here to learn all the skills I can for a couple of years, and then I'm going to take my shit elsewhere. But we are still bogged down with this old school style of doing things, so that you have to say, like I said with my answer, you just tell them every single time, this is the last job I'm going to ever have.
Yeah.
Like if you ever do an interview, you need to talk about this being like the job you retire from, because they will not accept anything less. They think you're a liability. We've had how many people call in to the show that say they talk to their boss about rethinking their relationship with their 40-hour work week, and they just get fucking fired over it.
Yeah.
Like if you're not just willing to be there for 40 hours a week for 52 weeks a year, they don't want you, and they don't.
Exactly.
You're not going to be a part of the organization.
I mean, it really is about proving you're a good cog. I mean,
Right.
as much as that sounds
reliable
like sheeple
cog.
type stuff,
Yes.
they want a reliable cog. They don't want something that's going to break all the time and cause different problems within the machine, I guess.
Yeah.
That's another really great answer to help you.
Dude.
The next question. What are your strengths? and what
Yeah,
are your
this is the
weaknesses?
best.
Now, it's very important you are honest in your response to the weaknesses element of the question, but be careful not to give a weakness that is a requirement of the job
That
you
makes
are
sense.
applying for. In your answer, give 4 or 5 strengths and just 1 weakness.
That's an odd one.
He didn't also like weigh in on my biggest weakness is I care about my job too much. He didn't say if that
Well,
was
I
a good
think
answer.
actually, hold on.
No, don't play it.
Here's
I
my
don't want to
example
know.
response to
Oh,
him.
no, he didn't hit on
Okay,
that. He
yeah.
didn't actually. I watched a few of these.
Okay.
And one of the guys did hit on, be like,
Can't go with that.
yeah, you can't.
That's
do- One
outdated.
of my weaknesses is how much dedication I give to my job.
Yeah, I think I figured that one out early. I always, just because I'm so fucking critical on myself about 99% of the day, I really do know a lot of my weaknesses, and it is easy to just say something like, you know, I try to do too much at once and
Yeah.
get nothing done. You know,
That is a weakness. That's a good weakness, though.
yeah.
You know. So you want? Let's ask me.
What do you? So, Mr. Quimby, you know, we've talked about why you want to be here in the company and, you know, your motivations and all of that. But, you know, as we consider you for the position, I just want to know, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses?
Oh, you know, that's a good question. That's the kind of question I would have asked myself if I was hiring somebody, because you do want to know their attributes in that department.
We can't get baseball cards of everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the problem, you know. And I'll just tell you this right now. My strengths are hand me the work, I get it done. I don't know what that word. I don't know what the word is for that. I'll say accomplished,
Reliable.
reliable. Another one of my strengths is that I'm handsome. And then the next strength that I would say that I have is that I'm reliable, basically.
Okay.
Like,
Did-
I wouldn't
did I
have
say
used
that one?
reliable at the beginning, though. I wouldn't have used, I probably would have said, like, I accomplish. I'm a goal-oriented, accomplishment-minded individual. And then now I'll say reliable, so that I don't have to come up with another strength.
Okay.
You know, because let's be honest here.
Don't brag.
Yeah, I hate bragging, and I don't have a lot of strengths. But my weakness is, I would say, my one weakness is that I want to go home early every day. That is my one weakness when it comes to employment.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. That is, you know, I don't think we're be able to do that. But
You don't know. You don't know yet. Wait till you see how I work. Okay?
Sure.
You'll want me
Well-
out of here fucking noon.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, if we have someone handsome around and they want to leave early, it's going to be hard to say no. I have to say.
True. Yeah, I'll be such a drag on the office, you know,
Yeah.
that you'll want me to be gone. It's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, Brett, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, sir?
I would say that my strengths are I'm able to make you feel comfortable that I'm doing things. I think that you will think that I'm working all the time. You will never think that I'm not. I'll make sure that you don't catch me not working.
That's really all we can ask about I just don't want to catch you.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. You won't catch me. You won't catch me. I will be a gentleman about it. What are my other strengths at work? I am able to meet the quota, any job quota that you want. I can meet it exactly. I've never been capable of doing anything more than the quota of what's required of me, but as long as you tell me what's required of me, I can do that exactly. You know,
I like to say, I like the idea of saying like, I am able to meet the quota. Now, one of my weaknesses is that I do shoddy work.
Yeah.
When I'm rushed. But I can meet the quota.
Right. I can get the quota done. It's just some of them are going to get sent back. What are my weaknesses? I would say my biggest weakness is that sometimes, you know, if I have a disagreement with someone at work, I will just scream in their face that they're a fucking asshole. I've done that a couple of times, and it like, you know, it kind of brought the mood down, but we got past it. Everybody gets past it eventually.
Yeah. Well, they don't really get past it. They more just swallow it for the rest of their lives. But yeah, we all say we get past it, so that's really a good thing.
See,
when you think about it.
And you understand what I'm talking about. This sounds like a perfect work environment. You know what I mean?
Perfection. Let's hear how we're supposed to answer this. Oh, I'm sure this is terrible.
What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? My strengths include my enthusiasm, my positivity, and my determination. I believe you get out of life what you are prepared to put in. So I will be a hard worker and you will never hear me complain.
I just want to choke that person.
I do too.
All I think about is just wrapping my fucking arms around their neck.
You have to think about the guy that's hiring you also a good, I don't know, 40 maybe % of the time also hates his job.
Right. You know what I mean? Most likely they don't believe in what they're in like the company.
No.
They don't think that you're good enough to do the job, but there's pressure on them to fill the position.
I could not stand to be around a person who one of their strengths is their enthusiasm. That sounds like a person that would make you nuts, you know? Too many questions sort of guy, you know? That's what it sounds like to me. If I'm doing an interview and I'm saying, this sounds like a too many questions guy.
Somebody, when you go to work and they just like clap their hands and they're like, all right, let's get it done, gang. Let's do this today. It's another day, another dollar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like that.
I do not either.
I don't trust this person.
No, you're hiring a total not trustworthy person. I'm not saying me and Brett are better.
Yeah, I'm so out of the game. I mean, I could lie and I probably would say something, but this just sounds fucking pathetic to me.
It does.
Like, I will be a hard worker and you will never hear me complain. It's like, why not? Like, you have a right to fucking complain. You should have a right to complain about your fucking working conditions.
Yeah, that is wild. You will never hear me complain. It's because really I'll be quietly building resentment against you in my office because everything runs like shit at this place.
You won't hear me complain because I'm going to be stealing files and selling them on LinkedIn.
Other strengths include good teamworking skills.
More strengths?
I understand that for a business to be successful, everyone in the team must act unselfishly and put the needs of the team first. I am a good communicator. I believe I will be good with customers, and I am a fast learner. Now, my weakness is the fact I am quite hard on myself, and I sometimes worry unnecessarily. Having said that, I am always open to learning, so if you see anything about me you feel I need to change, I will work hard to do so.
Oh, you piece of shit. This sniveling coward. You should have said something bad about yourself. I respect You know, I knew the game of the saying my weakness is bad. My weakness is that I'm too good. And like, I can't believe he just recommended that shit.
To people who are looking for a job.
To people that are looking for a job.
All right, here's our next one. I think there's 2 more. So let's get, no, we got 2 more.
Example of a time when you worked in a team. What was your role? Now think of a situation when you worked with other people to achieve a common goal.
No shit, that's what a team is, dude.
It is important you work together in a team. You support your teammates and you successfully achieve your goal. Here's an example answer to.
All right. Give me an example of a time when you worked in a team. What was your role? Here, I got it. Just ask me.
Mr. Quinby, you know, we do a lot of cooperation here at the company, and I'm curious of an example of a time when you worked in a team and what exactly your role was.
Back in, you know, I'm going to say this is the last time I worked on a team. And this is back, it was a while ago when I was in minor league baseball when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And the position that I played, well, it was T-ball, really, to tell you the truth.
At 9? It's still T-ball?
Or whatever age I was.
Coach pitch?
It's whatever age I was when I was playing T-ball, right? I was on the T-ball team. And my position, and this says a lot about my willingness to work and really dig in there, was catcher.
Huh.
On a T-ball team.
Okay.
That really actually was my position. I was the catcher on the T-ball team, which is an unnecessary position because there's no pitching.
So
but that's the last time I was a team. I don't know what you want me to say.
You're a place filler. If there's a team and there's a spot and somebody has to do it, we can put you down to do it.
You know what though, for real, this
catcher at T-ball is like bad.
It's the most pathetic thing about me, I think. Just in like, I think that's why I so overcompensate with like saying I'm strong and good at stuff.
You know, a T-ball catcher.
Because it's gotta be a reason, dude. The only time I wasn't the catcher, I was the pitcher, which is also totally pointless position to have on the field in T-ball.
You're basically most likely to get hit by the ball.
And I did. So. Yeah, I was just really bad at the whole thing.
T-ball pitcher.
T-ball catcher and T-ball pitcher. Only once pitcher, though.
Oh.
They didn't want me out on the field fielding.
Yeah, they couldn't rely on you for that.
Yeah, they were like, we gotta put him in a position because he's a kid and he knows that catcher is a loser position. So they put me out there. But I don't think I ever, until me and you started working together, felt like I worked in a team.
All right.
For real. I just never was an active teammate, I guess, is the way that is what I would say about working with the team. Is like I was never an active teammate. I didn't want to fucking do it. I didn't want to be at those places. I didn't want to do anything. And a lot of times people were doing work that they shouldn't have had to do because they had to pick up my slack because I wasn't acting like a team player.
All right. This doesn't sound good for your job interview.
No, that's bad for the job interview. But when I said T-ball, though, they know I was an athlete.
Okay.
Played sports. And, you know, team player. I was a catcher. That is a member that is technically a member of a team.
Yeah.
You know? So, Brett, why don't you give me an example of a time when you worked in a team? What was your role?
Well, I worked at this call center for insurance leads, and there was they had a great company culture, and they had a kickball team, and I decided to join the kickball team. But what happened is I showed up to a game, and I caught this amazing fucking kick. Someone launched it. They put me in the outfield. Someone launched.
It's a good position. Kickball that's like actually the best position. You're gonna feel most of the stuff.
Right. Somebody launched it, and I ran and I caught it like over my shoulder. Caught it like it was amazing. But then later in the game, I was running the bases and I slipped and fell on my ass and got tagged out. But then what happened was the rest of the team invited 2 of their friends. They wanted to have 2 of their friends come hang out with them for the rest of the games, and decided that wasn't going to be on the team anymore.
Hey, you got an out, dude, and that's. I mean, listen, not all. This is a good way to talk
Place
about the
fillers
interview too.
I mean, at a job honestly, at a job environment, I am just a place filler. I will stand there and do the stuff. Yeah. But I do not want to know or interact with anybody I'm there with. Like, I don't like any of the people there. I go in there, I go to my job with gritted teeth. Like, I go in there mad that I have to do it. So, like, as a team player, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck you want me to do to get you off my back.
I'll even say it as in it's not that I don't like the people I work with automatically. It is that if I'm going to make friends, I'm just going to make friends. It's not going to be people that it's not going to be people that I'm just thrown together. It's not going to be friends out of proximity.
No, it's not going to, I'm not going to work with like a dozen people in the office and then go drink with the same dozen people. I'm going to hang out with 1 or 2 of those people and talk about the rest.
Yes. Perfect. That's a good answer. Let's hear what our bullshit artist
Yeah, as a
said.
member of a team, I isolate 1 or 2 cool people, and then we overtake everybody else and set up our reign as the coolest people at this job.
We just goof on everybody else, and really we're the best
Make
people
them look
to be
bad,
around.
make them do our work.
We make all the new hires want to hang out with us. We're
Yeah.
the guys, that's just the way it is. All right, Guy.
To help you. Give me an example of a time when you worked in a team. What was your role? During my academic studies, a small group of us decided to arrange a charity 5K fun run to raise money for local good causes.
I don't know why you groaned like
The
that.
local newspaper ran a story stating that many local charities were underfunded and they needed help, so we decided to step
This is a
in.
good answer.
We
That's a
started
good
off by
answer
holding a
because
team
you can
briefing
do
where
that
we did-
for anything. That's a lie that you could tell.
That's true.
There's
It is
so
a good
many
lie.
5Ks. I'm adding that. I'm going to use that lie.
You're going to add the 5K?
In the next 25 years, if I have to get myself out of a situation or if I have to impress someone, I'm going to say, yeah, we did a pickle run 5K for a buddy of mine that had MS that, his favorite food was pickles. So we all had pickle jerseys. I'll tell him the whole story about the whole day and everything. The carnival we put together, all of it.
God, that is smooth.
It's a great
dude.
lie. That is a good lie.
That is a good lie. That's a perfect lie. Here, he goes into a lot of detail, though.
Discussed our goals, how much we wanted to raise, who would do what in the team, and what date would be best for the fun run to take place.
Ooh.
My task within the team was to liaise with the local newspapers to arrange some free publicity.
Liaise.
And I was also responsible for gaining sponsorship on the day from local businesses.
Okay.
Cool.
We worked together as a team for 4 weeks solid, organising the event and supporting each other during each task.
Oh.
The fun run went ahead as planned, and with more than 30 people taking part, we
30?
managed to raise over $500 for local charities.
30 is not
That's
impressive.
a great answer that shows you are
That's
organised
actually, I'll
and
say
you can
this
work
too.
effectively as a team, and that's really important.
The $500 number is key to this. And that, like, we raised $500
Right.
for local charities. Never going to find that in a newspaper.
Yes.
There's nowhere to find $500 profit made from a 5K. God, this guy, he might be a little sneaky. Maybe he's the Joker. Maybe he's sneaking little bits into
Truth?
this video to because the rest of these have been so bad. So here's our final question, and then I'm gonna go home and sleep. Here we go.
Next question. Describe a situation when you had a disagreement with someone. Now, most people think this common entry-level job interview question is assessing your ability to debate and win the argument. It is not.
Ah.
The question is
thought that?
assessing whether you can reach a compromise and put aside any differences of opinion for the good of the team. So here's my example answer to...
So here's the thing about that. I would have maybe fucked this up royally bad.
Really?
Back in the day. Fucking yes. I don't remember a specific time that I fucked this up, but I would probably have gone into this about winning an argument. Just like I can do the joke answer now. It's like I was arguing with my father-in-law, and I got him to believe in universal health care by asking him a series of questions, even though he disagrees. He says he disagrees with it.
Yeah.
It's very... like I won the argument or whatever, but it's like I would massage that and like make it sound like I did it in a very nice way and got somebody. It would basically be me explaining a time where I got somebody over to my way of thinking, not the compromise thing.
Yeah, I don't know how I knew. I don't know how I knew to answer that way, but I always knew the answer was storybook. Like, that's what people want. Like, there was a happy ending at the end. Like, I always knew that what this person wants to hear is that I put a bow on everything. There's a fucking happy ending. You know, me.
But we did a little bit of their solution and a little bit of my solution, and then it ended up coming out better than I could have ever imagined.
I realized that, you know, he was looking at a different spreadsheet than me, and it was like, wow, why was all that vitriol there? You know, we didn't have to email that aggressively.
Don't mention that you had vitriol though in a job interview. I think I've watched so many of these videos now where they like tell you like never say anything bad about your old job, and when I say never say anything bad,
that's a classic.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You never say like, I just didn't see that there was a potential for advancement there, because they'll say like, well, because the job interview guy will be like, no, you got to make your own position. You know, if you're a real entrepreneur, go for it. Yeah. I think that's how I would answer this truly, is to say a time I won an argument.
Oh man, you know what? Somebody in the chat really did a 3D chess on this thing.
What?
Dr. Benway said, oh, I'm sorry. I always answer this one by answering it before they ask it as part of another question. Oh, damn. Just bring up that, like, I've had some conflicts in my career, but I smoothed them all over.
Oh,
yeah, that is really good.
That is what
so
you
good.
should. Now,
yeah, that's really impressive.
That is 12th dimensional chess.
That's a dismount. That's a perfect dismount.
Yeah, that is a smart one, because I really this would be the exact kind of thing that in for real life would slip me up. Like without the joke answers and all that stuff, I would get this very wrong, because I'm competitive. I'm a little bit competitive, and like also, I have this fucking thing in my mind where like when people meet me in person, I have to convince them that I'm smart.
Sure.
Like that's
oh no, don't worry.
What I would do.
If there's disagreements, I will shut that person down. Yeah. You know, you're hiring an expert.
Yeah.
At shutting down disagreements.
Here we go.
Common entry-level job interview question. Describe a situation when you had a disagreement with someone. I was part of a team during a work experience placement discussing the launch of a new company product. A
work experience placement. And that's got to be a British thing, because that just sounds like a lot of words.
Yeah, is that just...
Oh, it probably is. They probably help them get
trade
careers.
Schools or something?
Yeah. They probably help them get shit.
The team members was adamant the best way to promote the new product was by way of handing out flyers and leaflets in the local community.
What a dummy.
I firmly do not believe in flyers.
Yeah, that was definitely a bad move.
I've told Brett in the past, like, I don't think a single person goes to an event because of a flyer.
Who would do that in like 2020?
Yeah.
Hey, mates, let's print us up a bunch of flyers and put them underneath on their windscreens.
Yeah. That is ridiculous.
However, I disagreed, and I suggested we should try online advertisement via Facebook, as this would enable us to target people in the local area by age and by interest, allowing us to reach our preferred target audience.
Tight. Okay. Now he's gonna. Oh shit!
It's
I
just
can't
like-
wait for this next part.
Sometimes you're like right in the middle of your work experience placement and you're discussing the launch of a new company product and everybody's talking about flyers and you're just like, why not Facebook?
Yeah.
Nobody thought to inform Facebook that you have shit to sell.
Flyers. It's also funny to think of anybody actually not think, because people now think like the internet's the solution to everything.
Right.
They would never bring up flyers ever because they would just be like, fucking, I don't know, can't you like tell people about it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Now, a bit of a disagreement started between us, and after going backwards and forwards a few times, I decided...
I like backwards and forwards. I want to start saying, instead of back and forth, saying backwards and forwards.
They're going backwards and forwards.
to agree with
man's
his
buttocks.
advertising
Oh,
suggestion
shit.
for the sake of the business, as there was the potential we'd end up doing nothing if the disagreement continued. As it transpired,
What?
the flyer and leaflet suggestion did not yield positive results, so we all decided to switch over to online advertising, which actually ended up giving us a better return from our investment.
I want to say a word. I want to say he's something that they say over there that we can't say over here.
Yeah.
Because he just did exactly what they said not to do.
Yeah.
Which he just laid out basically a system where I was the smartest guy in the room, and I decided to let this dum-dum go ahead and waste money. And then we got to get around to my good idea.
I didn't even think about. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, we got a good ROI on this thing, but
You know, we
this
had to-
other guy I work with, he wasted money, and the truth is, about 6 months after that whole thing, he got fired because he was always wasting money and coming up with shit ideas. Quite frankly, his ideas were shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that he didn't follow it. He couldn't even. He was so egotistical. He couldn't follow his own advice in example question there.
No, he really was. Well, that was a good time. I think.
Yeah, I like to learn about jobs.
Yeah, we'll do more interview stuff. I've watched a lot of videos, and I really it's almost like a perverse joy I get in watching the job interview do's and don'ts. And there's a lot from different fields of work, and there's a lot of good fast food ones we'll have to do sometime.
Yeah, it's also such a. I mean, they're just. Most people know that you have to just know someone at the job to get it. I mean, the way to get a job for the most part is know somebody, be connected, be beautiful, right? Like
That's why people don't make it through. That's why people don't sort of make it out of poverty sorts of things, because basically all you're set up to do is a job that somebody does, and if everybody knows service work, then you're going to do service work.
Well, and also, I mean, when I worked at the company that I was close enough to the hiring practice, it just breaks my heart. I mean, to think about it was like people from the west side or people from certain parts of town, like they would check addresses on people to see where they were from, and they weren't going to work there.
It's 100% true.
They didn't want to have it. They didn't want to have their kind in there,
Yeah, and there are a lot of research study, because I was a sociology major. I took a work labor and something course, and there are a lot of studies done about people from certain neighborhoods people from black neighborhoods don't get hired.
Right.
That is, poor, because there are parts of Columbus that's it's very poor white people, and they have it's just poor people. Poor people neighborhoods just get a reputation.
Well, black names on resumes also get much less responses.
That's true too. It's just,
and it's the system is set up, and it is it's like this thing that there's no way to know who is, like, whether or not it's even helpful to find the employee. It's just become this specific type of performance that we're supposed to do. And what was revealed in that thing was just completely, we said it in a funny, more honest way, but just debase yourself. Just just to say pretty much like, I plan to be here and never be a problem for you, and I'll take the minimum amount and do the most amount of work.
The never be a problem for you part is really disturbing. I really hate that. You know? I hate that is like something that you have to, that has to be part of the spoken agreement in order to get employment.
Employees are a drain on the money in the account. Like, and it's, that entire mindset has been handed over to us, where we feel like we're a burden on the company. Like, if we're not making enough money to justify our wage, you know, we're a drain.
Yeah.
Like, we're a rotter. We're a fucking chiseler.
Yeah. That is the way it is. And we gotta, like, you know, the joke answers would never work, but I mean, it would be nice. I think the psyche of a lot of workers would change if we figured out ways to make your interviews more of a mutual respect thing than debasing yourself to the worker. I think that, like, if there were just subtle ways to change language, the way, you know, the example that's always up there is that, like, it's pro-life and pro-choice, because pro-life, like, pro-life is a who wouldn't be that,
right?
You know, who wouldn't want to be that? They chose that. They like, and like that's the same. If we can change the language around hiring and getting jobs, I think it goes a long way to even changing what the job ends up being and what the relationship with the job ends up being. And if, you know, if it's a good candidate, like, it's just about showing. It's about subtly changing the way we talk to maybe change the attitudes of the people that are working.
Yeah, not to harp on for too long, but it's what I was trying to say is, like, it's a change. Like, the interview was like when you were going to be a company person, when you were signing up for a career, and a career meant pensions. Yeah. Career meant you did your service and you retired from it. But like, these same job interview sites that are posting all of these tips are also saying, don't stay at a job for too long, switch up your career, try different things, you know, all of this stuff. It doesn't acknowledge the reality. We can't escape, like, what the modern work environment is for very much longer. I don't know. I don't think Gen Z is you know, based upon, like, that debate, I don't think they're coming into this world with any delusions anymore. I think there's been the people younger than us, like, we had to step into this, like, full information of the internet and ideas and all this stuff. They are bathed in it. They are from childhood. They now know that they're being exploited when they go get paid $7 an hour. TikTok is telling them, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's hopefully that those changes start to occur over time. I mean, you already hear them kicking and screaming away from it, you know, but we can win. I think this is the kind of, I mean, having a talk about even just changing the language of what the relationship is like a really powerful step into changing the relationship that you have at work.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to fucking assert that shit. We can't just submit to them. That's not what that relationship actually is.
Right.
You know, it's not benevolence. They want something out of you and you want something out of them.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for listening to Street Fight. We will be back on Sunday. We're doing the ABCD show. That means anybody but cis dudes can call in. We want to hear from you. If you are a cis dude, you're getting flushed down the fucking toilet. So,
and also Shocktober this week for all the dude type people. Like, it's just it's all the guests are dudes and we're talking about dudes.
Dude shit. It's happening Friday. We also have a super cool shirt coming. All the Patreon subscribers, you'll get a discount for the merch in the store. We're doing another pre-order this month for a skull shirt and hoodie that's going to be awesome. The wavy stuff is on the way. It's in the mail this week, I believe. We will be back on Sunday, like I said. Please support the show. We're trying to spread around what we can and keep the zine going and everything, but we need those monthly subscribers to step up. So Street Fight on Patreon, patreon.com/streetfightradio. That's the link. Peace. Ugh.